It's a bug control deck. He's got 2 Snapcasters, 2 Shardless Agents, 4 Veteran Explorer, 1 Coiling Oracle, 3 Baleful Strix, 2 Scavenging Ooze, 1 Consecrated Sphinx, 4 Force of Will, 4 Cabal Therapy, 4 Brainstorm, 3 Pernicious Deed, 2 Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Sensei's Divining Top, 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor, and some lands.
That deck is all over the place.
It is. You see the Star City Games Judge sleeves there.
I like those actually quite a bit. They're
Pretty
really nice.
fancy sleeves, only available to judges.
Now, it is important that Robert, now he may have something to do on turn 1, but very smart of him to sacrifice his land right away. He doesn't know that Christopher has 4 Stifles in his deck, but it's better to play around it than not if you can.
He may know.
They could know each other.
They could know each other, yeah. Or he could have been, could have seen Christopher's deck at some point while Christopher was still playing. Could have been seated near each other or something.
Draw a card.
Plays a swamp.
Swamp. Are you going to see a Baleful Strix this early in the morning?
It's actually not morning any longer.
It feels like morning to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. No Baleful Strix today. Robert's just going to pass it back to Chris.
Nice little cantripping, flying Death Touch 1/1 from the Plane Chase 2012.
It's like AJ Soccer's favorite Magic card.
One of the more expensive, quote-unquote, uncommons ever printed.
Yeah, it's super expensive.
It's like, yeah, it's like an $18, $20 card.
It's a very good card.
I don't know.
Everything you want.
It's hard to call it uncommon when the only place you can get it is a Plane Chase deck. It's kind of odd to call it uncommon.
We're gonna see Tarmogoyf. 1/2, just because there's land in the bin.
It's like a Stoneforge Mystic Goyf.
And what do we have here? We have Baleful Strix.
There it is.
We have a Daze.
Daze from Chris.
Alright, I'm going to pay.
And yeah, Robert's cracking his fetch land, appears to be willing to pay, and finds a basic forest. So
Interesting time to Daze. I mean, it is going to make Tarmogoyf for 2/3, but it's facing down a 1/1 Death Touch bird. Alright, I'll pay. Daze again.
Daze number 2.
Alright, that's
That was a
fine.
really profitable Baleful Strix.
Yeah, I mean, it is a 4/5 now, but there are no lands in play. We'll see how this line of play ends up working out for Chris.
Slaughter Pact. That would have been nice right there, right? Slaughter Pact. Pay for it on my my upkeep. No, he just takes 4. That's fine. I believe he's got Pernicious Deed in hand. There it is up in front. I believe I saw Snapcaster. I saw Abrupt Decay. And we're gonna see.
We're gonna see Deed or Shardless Agent.
Does he have Maelstrom Pulse? Is that no? He's gonna go with the Agent.
Cascade, okay?
Another card. Oh,
It's a Stifle.
ooh, Stifle on the Cascade trick.
And you can't stifle the Cascade trigger. Now, we're going to have a judge come into this because he started revealing cards off of the Cascade. He revealed a Force of Will. Now, the table judge is going to take care of business here, and we can be told by our director exactly what's going on. And it looks like he's just going to have him shuffle his deck because he was a little hasty trying to resolve the Cascade.
Shardless Agent, another card, only available in that Plane Chase edition, and it's a 2/2 for 3 that has Cascade. It's a blue green and 1, and it's an artifact. So kind of an embarrassing 2/2 for 3 here after that Stifle, but you know what it did do is took a Stifle out of Chris Calhoun's hand. So
yeah, I mean, kind of traded one for half a card.
Half for 1. Ponder from Chris. Sees, I believe, Delver Brainstorm Wasteland. Is that what it looks like to you?
There's that Shardless Agent. We do see Shardless Agent on the screen.
I like that artwork too.
Known mostly for its days in Hypergenesis as a card you can Cascade in Hypergenesis with, also remove to Force of Will because it is blue, even though it doesn't look very blue.
Yeah.
We're going to see a Forked Bolt.
Warning for looking at extra cards is the ruling on that. Hasty Cascade.
You see Tarmogoyf get in for 5 more Wooded Foothills from Christopher Calhoun and passing back. So it looks like so far that double days on the Baleful Strix has worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah. Robert intending to use that Strix as a pseudo-removal spell holding off the Goyf for a few turns because of the Death Touch ability on the Strix. Couldn't stick it, and Goyf then able to just kind of run all over Robert Pittman's life total. So here we have a Cabal Therapy. Not sure what he named. Apparently he named Spell Pierce and hit one.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
That's a good... I mean, he hadn't seen one yet. He's playing clearly against Rug Delver. I feel like that's not the craziest thing in the world.
A big-time name right there.
Yeah, now he knows what's going on over there. He's going to play a Scavenging Ooze, which might have something to say about that Tarmogoyf size if it sticks. That might, do a little bit for Robert Pittman's life total as well.
It looks like Ooze is good.
Some tanking. Yeah.
We're gonna see
Okay.
daze.
So Chris is going to daze it. And Robert says, all right, I'll go to 8.
And I'll pay it. If he does pay this, and he is going to pay, excuse me, once he does pay this and he is at 8 life now, now he's in dangerous territory because he's got a 5/6 Tarmogoyf rumbling over.
Right, top deck Bolt
Yep.
will end this game for both players in the favor of Chris Calhoun, very likely. So pays it with a Bayou, and looks to me like Ooze has stuck.
What have we drawn? Looks like a Brainstorm.
Now that is also assuming that he doesn't just block with the Ooze, but I
Yeah.
imagine that's not his plan here.
He's taking a risk this turn by
Yeah.
letting the Ooze come across as we see a Brainstorm here.
Brainstorm. Did he just find Bolt? I think
that
he did.
third one is
That
Bolt,
was a full art Bolt. Don't think Robert has any way of countering the Bolt. We see Snapcaster Mage, Pernicious Deed, and something else in his hand. Might be land.
And upstairs.
There's the Bolt,
That's
and there's the game. So Rug Delver takes game 1 versus Robert Pittman and his Bug Explorer deck. Here in round 4 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open in Dallas-Fort Worth. What are we doing in the board? Robert Pittman with the kind of crazy-looking deck. It's bug control, but not the typical bug control like we saw in round 3, earlier in round 3.
Yeah.
Still a lot of the same card choices. He's got some... Well, just looking at his sideboard, he's got a Thrun, he's got a Vendilion Click, 2 more Jace the Mind Sculptors, 4 Leyline of the Void, 3 Thoughtseize, 1 Crossing Grip, and 3 Counterbalance. So, interesting. Does play 2 Sensei's Divining Top in the main. I saw the Counterbalance with no top in the board and was a little confused. Wait a second, those are in the main deck. Okay. So, Thrun the Last Troll can't be countered. Seems like a potential threat.
This is like the matchup where you definitely want it.
Yeah.
It blocks the Mongoose. It doesn't
Right.
block Delver and Site Deliberation, but it also
Right.
blocks Tarmogoyf and regenerates off of well. So it's going to take care of 8 of the 12 threats from Christopher's deck. So this and it's uncounterable, of course.
Right.
So this
Can't
is the
be
matchup
bolted.
where you want it. Yeah. Without question.
Also, extra Vendilion Click. I say extra because I thought he had some in the main, but it's just a Vendilion Click. I'm trying to. My eyes are flipping back and forth between his main deck and his sideboard. I'm like, his main deck looks like a sideboard with just 1s and 2s all over the place. He's got a Vendilion Click you might want to bring in. Jace the Mind Sculptor, reasonable. Rug Delver's kind of like this weird aggro control deck that might not even care that much about a Jace. Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, just bolt it. It's a 4-mana Brainstorm, and in a format where you've got access to 1-mana Brainstorms, Jace might not be where you want to be. Obviously not bringing in the ley lines. Might want to try those Thoughtseizes, but I'm not sold on that, doing the damage to yourself. But what do you think about that?
I don't love Thoughtseize. I mean, mainly, especially because of Brainstorm. You know, there a lot of Rogue Delver's cards are just redundant.
Yeah.
So discard is rarely the way to go about trying to beat them.
I do like the counterbalances.
I like Counterbalance as well.
There's so many ones and
top
twos.
is awesome against this deck.
Yeah.
If he can get it established, even though he only has 2 tops and 3 counterbalances, it's very, very hard for Christopher's deck to break. Furthermore, I don't think he's going to expect that combination coming from this bug deck.
Sure. Yeah. Didn't see the top, and kind of probably doesn't know exactly what to make of what he did see, because, you know, he saw Shardless Agent, he saw Baleful Strix, he saw Scavenging Ooze, and then, you know, kind of. That's kind of it. Like, he saw Cabal Therapy. You know, I wonder if he expects to be playing against some sort of strange combo deck, or if you know, he's playing around a control deck.
I bet if we asked Christopher right now what is he playing against, he wouldn't really have a solid answer.
Yeah.
Based off of what he saw game 1, which is I'm sure part of the reason that Robert played his deck. It's pretty unexpected. Exactly what he's trying to accomplish, and nothing was really given away there during game 1. As far as Christopher's deck concerned, playing your pretty standard Rug Delver list. You know, didn't see very much in that game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Grim Lavamancer come in, because it does take care of Baleful Strix. It does take care of Shardless Agent as well, and Scavenging Ooze. So that's a card he has one of in his sideboard that I wouldn't be surprised to see come in. Also has 3 copies of Submerge. 2 Rough and Tumbles, which aren't great here. And he has some Billing Click as well if he just wants to check out what's going on. So I could see those cards all joining us for this particular game.
Sure. And as the players finish shuffling each other's decks, I think we're about to get underway. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Both keep 7. Come on.
Yeah, indeed.
Excuse me.
2, 3. I do like those sleeves quite a bit. 6, 7. I think I saw at least one Veteran Explorer over there for Robert.
How's his hand look? Looks like he's definitely got some lands and some spells. Maybe too many lands? Can't quite see. Looks like he kept. All right, both players kept. Tropical Island, Veteran Explorer. Resolves.
Resolves.
How do you feel when your opponent plays Veteran Explorer against you?
It's really weird. It's like one of the cards. It's kind of, you know, like a fringe card and like a fringe deck that it's included in. It's one of the cards I've never played against when I'm playing Legacy. Not once.
It is a little fringe. When somebody plays it against me, I'm like, cool. Like, that's actually awesome. There you see it. 1 for 1. If it's put into a graveyard, each player may search his or her library for up to 2 basic land cards and put those lands into play. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing a control deck. I kind of want to hit every land drop. Thanks for 2 land drops.
Yeah.
You know, like, works for me. Yeah, you can have your 2 lands too, obviously, but I really have no problem with you giving me that. I have yet to feel like I'm ever, my opponent's ever able to take more advantage of the Veteran Explorer than I am. So.
Well, I'd hope that's the case.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I'm playing against it.
Oh, sure.
So and I'm just like, sure, thanks. It's like somebody playing Howling Mine and then you know, it's like, cool, right? Yeah. Like, thanks for the extra cards. All mine are going to be better than yours.
Ooh, Phyrexian
because I'm
Tower.
the control deck. So, yeah. Phyrexian Tower is going to go ahead and have some Veteran Explorer action.
Now that is a card that we don't see much of. Phyrexian Tower. So we're going to bring that up on the screen for you guys, because I am even having a hard time remembering what that does. I know you can sack a guy. I think it's for 2 black mana. I think.
So, turn 1 Delver from Chris Calhoun, and he's not searching for the 2 lands. I'm not sure if he realizes he can search.
No basics in Rug Delver.
That would be why he's not searching. I forgot about that. So, Phyrexian Tower, as you can see, legendary land, rare from Urza's Saga, adds a colorless, or he can sacrifice a creature to add black. And you see Robert Pittman adding 2 black, now has 2 extra lands. So that's a nice interaction right there.
Yeah.
He's now using 1 black and the other black to 1 black to cast top, the other black to use top. And this is a pretty hefty acceleration, pretty hefty turn for Robert Pittman. He goes with Shardless Agent. Now, can I Cascade?
All right, so it looks like he's...
Yeah, does the Cascade...
Yeah.
Yeah, first the Cascade triggered.
So he has announced days on that card.
Yeah. And
He's going to do Abrupt Decay. I mean, unfortunately enough, it's not Abrupt Decay is something he couldn't daze anyway.
yeah, exactly. So the daze actually gets rid of the Shardless Agent, but the free, quote-unquote free, Abrupt Decay gets rid of the Delver, and Chris Calhoun looks like he hasn't even started playing Magic yet at this point, while his opponent has 4 lands in play and a Sensei's Divining Top. So there's that Delver again. No surprise there, off of Tropical Island. And Robert Pittman gonna go ahead and use top here before his draw. Wants to arrange things. We do know Robert had set up the top of his deck to be Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
With the top last turn before casting the Shardless Agent. All right, plays a 5th land, and I think we're going to see another one. Shardless Agent.
May I Cascade?
Cascades into Brainstorm. Interesting way to set it up.
2, 3.
Brainstorm resolves. Seems to want to maybe get a fresh top 3, because looking at that Brainstorm, it was land, Pernicious Deed. Puts 2 lands back. Does the Agent resolve? It does. Delver. Does Delver flip? It does, off of a Daze. Daze looking a little embarrassing now against Robert's 5 lands in play.
Yeah, and the Phyrexian Tower being able to add 2 black.
Yeah, if he
pretty
needs
poor.
to. Robert Pittman could cast Grave Titan, not through a Daze, but could cast Grave Titan next turn.
We're going to see Phyrexian Tower get taken down by Wasteland.
Kind of did its job already, though.
Yeah, the damage has already been done.
So, Insectile Aberration knocks Robert to 17. We have a top activation, I think, there.
The 3 cards Robert was looking at are the 2 lands he put back. They Consecrated Sphinx.
Draws Bayou. Gonna go ahead and attack with the Agent. Knocks Chris to 16. Chris winning the race at this point. Robert's gonna have something to say about that. And a Baleful Strix. That's something to say. Does that resolve?
Stifle?
Yeah, do you want to stifle the draw trigger?
You
He
do.
does. So instead of drawing a card, Chris Calhoun instead decides to stifle that, and
Oh, that's okay.
that's like drawing a card. It's like drawing a Duress for Stifle.
Yeah.
It's like cascading into Duress for Stifle. Lightning Bolt from Chris Calhoun takes out the Strix, allows him to get in freely with the Delver. I'm sorry, Insectile Aberration. Knocks Robert to 14, and Nimble Mongoose now 1 card away from Threshold, it appears.
It does look to be the case, yeah.
And we're going to see very likely a Pernicious Deed this turn from Robert Pittman just to clear the board. He's going to have to flip his top, though. I don't see what else he has in his hand that maybe would change that that particular line of play.
He has a Pernicious Deed and a Maelstrom Pulse.
Oh, is that what okay, so
It's a promo Maelstrom
that's
Pulse.
why I'm having trouble recognizing it. Okay. So, looks like he's going with Deed here. And that makes sense. We know Chris has at least one. I believe he has double days. Robert knows he has 1 because of that's how Delver flipped.
Yeah.
But Robert has plenty of mana. Day's not going to do very much. And interestingly, I wonder, is Robert actually going to offer Chris the opportunity to chump block the Shardless Agent here?
Yeah.
And yeah, he is. And Chris does not. So looks like Chris is fine with the Pernicious Deed clearing his board.
If you're Robert there, you have to Pernicious Deed on your own turn because you've already seen Stifle out of Christopher's deck. So now you're opening yourself up to having your Deed get blown out by a Stifle here.
Now I think what happened is before his draw on his upkeep, Robert decided to go ahead and flip his top and crack his Deed, clears the board. So he was playing around Stifle, just not when we expected him to. I don't know that I like the Shardless Agent attack because Nimble Mongoose could have just gotten in the way. The Pernicious Deed is right there. You just kind of waste 2 damage. If your plan is to just Deed anyway, do the Deed and then swing in freely with 2 and not even give your opponent the opportunity to change or to make a decision.
Yeah, you take away your opponent's opportunity To save that 2 points of damage, also you take away the opportunity to get your Pernicious Deed stifled.
So, top back down, Shardless Agent in again. And now Tarmogoyf from Chris Calhoun after a Ponder.
We're going to check the power and toughness on that guy because there are some artifacts and enchantments and other things flying around.
Yeah, lots of stuff. I think we don't have Planeswalker, we don't have Tribal, but that's about it. Goyf appears to have resolved. Robert Pittman looks to have found a Planeswalker in the form of Jace the Mind Sculptor, who will likely come down and bounce the 6/7 Tarmogoyf if it resolves. He could just go ahead and Maelstrom Pulse here, which it looks like he's going to go with that first. I actually like that better.
Yeah,
Didn't forget that he had the Maelstrom Pulse.
Get that thing out of here.
So, Pulse resolves. Shardless Agent on the attack. Chris Calhoun to 10. And Robert knows to play around the days. Chris Calhoun finds another Tarmogoyf conveniently after the Maelstrom Pulse.
Might be
Top activation. Yeah. Top activation from Robert. Robert knows he has at least 1 daze, and I think the 2 cards in Chris's hand are both days.
Yeah.
So he's going to go ahead and play around 1 daze here, and
First one.
there it is. I'll pay. All right.
Can't pay
Second
for that
daze. Can't pay for it. Sphinx goes away. The good news for Robert Pittman is Jace the Mind Sculptor very likely to resolve, which I think is what he was kind of showing us. Pretty sure that's Jace.
So do I want to block? Am I okay taking 6? I am.
So he's going to go to 8. 2 cards in Chris's hand are Force of Will and Land.
In for 2.
Apparently drew the Force of Will this turn, replayed one of the Daze lands, and is holding the second Daze land. So Jace the Mind Sculptor is going to resolve. And does Robert go ahead? Robert, go ahead and bounce the Goyf. Okay. What does Robert have in hand? Did you see what he drew?
Just Brainstorm.
Okay. Well, that's
Brainstorm is
something.
left.
That's something. Here comes Tarmogoyf. Surprise. All right, Robert's going to go ahead and top.
Let's see top
Can
of the
he
turn.
find an answer for the Goyf?
Well,
Doesn't
Jace is
appear that way.
Jace is at least a 2-turn answer. to
Sure,
stop
sure,
himself
sure.
from being
It's a
attacked by.
temporary answer.
We're going to spin top again on the end of turn, so make sure he has it correct. He did put a Veteran Explorer up to the top. And we'll see that right now. So Veteran Explorer is going to resolve. It's going to be time for a Fate Seal. It's time to start controlling Christopher's draw steps. Let Jace do what it does best,
Yeah.
which is take over the game.
Nice to be able to attack from 2 angles. You know, we saw him beating down with the Shardless Agent early. Now Jace could actually start getting into Mind Sculpting range. It's a little far away from that right now, but he can head in that direction. The cool thing about Jace is that while he's headed there, you control the top of your opponent's library.
Yeah. And now we see Veteran Explorer getting in front of the Tarmogoyf, searching out 2 lands, which is going to let him shuffle his deck and clear his Sensei's Divine Top, find some real action, and take care of this Tarmogoyf.
Veteran Explorer looking excellent against the Rug Delver list.
And we're going to see top right now. Another Explorer, Cabal Therapy, and Tropical Island. So we will see a Brainstorm to begin. 2 and 3. Put some of this garbage away.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Found
play a
himself
fetch land. Likely
Fetch
about to. There's a second veteran. Or I'm sorry, a third Veteran Explorer. Jace is gonna Fate Seal. I think Robert Pittman's got this game. I think he probably thinks he's got this game too. And he asked Chris Calhoun. He may also think that Robert's got this game. Thinks about it. Puts it on the bottom. Says go. Chris Calhoun with a fresh card. Fresh mystery card. Plays a land and swings with Goyf. Veteran Explorer gets in the way yet again. Robert Pittman gets a free shuffle effect. Gets rid of some of that crap on the top that he put back with Brainstorm. Does he have enough basics to search for?
Yeah.
Found a forest.
I think he has a basic island left too.
There it is, basic island. Okay.
So it's clear the top again, gets a shuffle, and if he doesn't like that one, he can of course sack Verdant Catacombs to shuffle again. But as you said, Jace is just doing what Jace does, just going to work. And a turn, we're going to spin the dreidel. You see a counterbalance now. Okay.
I would not want to play the counterbalance at this point. You want to hide it.
Don't want to keep that information sealed.
Exactly. You've got this game almost locked up. You want to withhold whatever information you can. Baleful Strix.
I think we're about to see a hard cast Force of Will.
I think we are as well. Now, is Robert Pittman empty-handed? I believe he is.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Empty-handed, but has a Jace in the top, so...
Yeah, not really that big of a deal.
Yeah. Definitely has things that he can do. That's for sure.
So Baleful Strix is going to be countered by Force of Will. Uh-oh. He's not going with my plan. He's actually trying to
Gonna put the counterbalance in play.
To add insult to injury. Play a counterbalance.
Did we Jace that turn?
I don't think he did. Oh wait, that was the Brainstorm. Sorry, he Brainstormed. That's how he got the counterbalance.
Okay, thank you. Chump blocking again, okay.
Yeah, Goyf gets in, gets chump blocked by the Shardless Agent, and top will rearrange the top of Robert's library.
There's a lot of things that Robert can do with this Jace, this top of his counterbalance, one of which is bouncing the Tarmogoyf, finding a 2 to put on top of his deck, and then locking that Tarmogoyf basically out of the game.
Sure.
We'll see if he opts to take that line of play or something else. So he did just find a Maelstrom Pulse.
So uses top. He's activating top, drawing the top card, which appears to very likely be Maelstrom Pulse. Pulse your Tarmogoyf. That resolves.
You guys got
Jace
to go.
is going to go ahead and Fate Seal. I need another die. And puts it on the bottom.
Whenever Jace needs another die, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, seriously. Coiling Oracle.
Rarely seen. Going to reveal top. Top's going to go to his hand. Top's going to come into play. Kick it back.
Doing the shuffle shuffle.
Truffle shuffle.
Yeah, but I don't see any truffles.
I wish I did. I'm hungry.
Why didn't you go eat with us while we had a break? We invited you. Chris Calhoun, disgusted with this game, has disappeared.
He's out of here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
He's out of
leaving.
here. You know it's not
Forget
fun,
it. I quit.
Jace.
He's like, I quit.
Jace,
quit Magic.
Sensates Top are miserable cards to play against. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Robert Pittman has defeated Chris Calhoun out of the game of Magic the Gathering.
He's hungry like me. So we're going to go eat. Oh, no, Chris is back.
He's back, okay. Just needed to go get a squirt of water, towel off a little bit. Judge question, actually.
Yeah, just Robert waiting. Seems as though, to me, he's just waiting for Robert to put him out of his misery for this particular game. He's got him in as close to a hard lock as you can get someone in.
Yeah,
Right
Chris
now.
is even laughing. He went. I think we just got confirmation. That question he asked the judge was, "Do you think I have a chance in this game?"
Do you think I can get out of this?
I don't know what the judge answered, but I don't like his chances.
Judge actually said there's a series of draws. And that's why they're playing on.
Yeah.
We're going to see a wasteland. Kaboom!
Knocking Robert Pittman from 25 lands to 24, and I don't know how Robert Pittman's going to deal with that. No Bayou. At least he's one Bayou down.
Spinning top in a turn, looking for any win condition, even though he does have Jason play, which will basically do it as it goes up to 12 counters.
Bottom your card. All right, and we may actually go to game 3 in the next few minutes. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna top. Counterbalance shows top on top.
Kindly leave.
And Robert untaps, draws his card. Oh, look at that. A Jace.
You're going to do that in the
Oh,
draw
I'm sorry,
step.
yeah. Draw step.
You can just put his top back on top or just let Jace get
Oh,
down
he
there.
just let it. Chris, you're drawing out this game unnecessarily. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know what Chris's plan to get out of this is, but I don't know why Robert didn't just try to counter that lightning bolt.
I'm very confused by that as well.
Yeah, like you could have just countered it, couldn't you have? I mean,
He could have activated the top.
was it after the draw step, after he drew the top? Okay.
Yeah.
Flip your other top. I mean, I don't know. Or spin the top and see if there's another one.
Correct. The last thing that should have happened is just saying, okay, that resolves.
Yeah.
There's a
So
lot of things that should have happened before that, but that point is moot.
right. So Jace got bolted at the end of draw step, but there were responses that Robert Pittman could have made to prevent Jace from losing any counters.
That's it.
And okay.
That's it. Christopher finally submits
Yes.
to Jace top counterbalance Veteran Explorer .deck.
30 lands in play. Yeah, I wonder what Chris's rationale was there. I mean, obviously you don't want to get mind sculpted, but you weren't like, you didn't have Robert to 1 and were hoping for some kind of strange.
Yeah,
I mean,
some
if you
sort
had
of
lightning
goof.
bolt in your hand and you're going to bolt anything, you probably, if you're trying to resolve a bolt, you bolt your opponent.
Yeah, hoping he slips up somehow.
Yeah.
But at 8 life and Jace with a million counters, at that point,
And an active counter.
I think it's more important to, conceal information. Don't let him fate seal and see my deck. Maybe see how I sideboarded and save some time, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it is already down, but by the time these guys finish up shuffling, we're going to have about 15 minutes likely left in the round. And that's not a lot of time when one of the decks is actually trying to, kind of go late. Like, obviously, Rug Delver can win fairly fast. I'm sure Bug Explorer can win reasonably fast.
It
but,
can.
but you're tied up. Each have one game. This is... Every few minutes is valuable.
Time is money.
That's right.
Time is money.
It's another illustration of that adage. Actually, maybe Chris figures, you know what? My deck can win faster than his. I'm not dead yet. I'm gonna, if he's going to win, he's gonna need more time than me. So I'm gonna make this game. I'm going to try to win to make this second game take as long as possible, so that I can win in 15 minutes more likely than he can win in 15 minutes. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he actually thought he could get back into that game, but active counterbalance top is already hard enough to beat. Jace, well on his way to mind sculpting you, controlling your draws. I just don't know how you get through it.
Yeah, it's borderline impossible to get through. And truthfully, I mean, if it's game 3 and he wants to play it out, that's one thing. But I feel like in game 2, you're pretty much beat. You have a third game. You're playing first and third game. Just focus on that. Use your mental energy to focus on a game that you can reasonably win. Where I think something catastrophic has to happen for him to win that particular game 2. But that game is over and done with. We are on to game number 3 between Christopher Calhoun playing Rug Delver, Robert Pittman playing his Bug Explorer deck.
Both players actually very quickly shuffling and going to the next game, because I thought they'd have about 15 minutes left. They have 16. I know that seems like very little, but that was very quick.
Every minute counts.
Absolutely. So, Delver on turn 1 for Chris, and Veteran Explorer on turn 1 for Robert. Days, says Chris. He saw how much that card could help out Robert in this matchup.
This is where Rug Delver gets nasty. If that Delver would have flipped, things would have gotten ugly pretty quickly here. Instead, we're just going to see an attack for 1 and possibly a Ponder or a Brainstorm to set up Delver. Actually, neither. Okay. We'll trigger this. Days says it flips. And for 3. And we'll see a Sylvan Library here from Chris Calhoun. What can Robert do to answer that? We'll see a Baleful Strix. Playing around Days accordingly, hoping to get a draw finally. Baleful Strix so far this match has not drawn a card, has never even gotten the opportunity to block. But it may have the opportunity to do that in game 3 as we see Sylvan Library being resolved here by Chris.
Sylvan Library, one of those cards that Rug Delver can use to really get ahead. Like one of the few cards that's not just removal or creature or counterspell. You know what I mean? I guess if you can kind of call counterspells removal in a way. It's actually a pretty much just a pure card advantage engine.
Great card.
Absolutely.
Surprising.
Yeah.
It's surprising how good it is, and it's kind of weird that a card this good only sees, you only see one or a maximum 2 copies in these type of decks. Of course, it's a card you don't want to draw multiples of, and it normally doesn't die when it comes into play, but it's so good when it's in play.
Absolutely. Chris fetches up a Volcanic Island. And, ooh, watch the accidental extra cards there. Sylvan Library being resolved here. I'm sorry, Brainstorm being resolved, not Sylvan Library. Lightning Bolt for the Baleful Strix. And Delver is going to try to get in again. I imagine it's going to connect. And it does. Robert Pittman down to 13, untaps, draws for the turn, has a Misty Rainforest, plays it. So it looks like he's got Brainstorm, Consecrated Sphinx, Phyrexian Tower. Is that a Pernicious Deed? Maybe like the 4th card in?
It's either I think it's a promo Maelstrom Pulse again. Okay. I think all his Maelstrom Pulses are promos.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think you're right. Gonna Brainstorm here. If you're just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco, sitting in the booth next to Cedric Phillips, and we are watching Game 3 of Round 4 of the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open here in Dallas-Fort Worth. All tied up at a game each. Chris Calhoun and Rug Delver versus Robert Pittman and Bug Explorer. Bug Explorer kind of not a kind of deck you see very often. In fact, no. I don't think I've ever seen a deck that looks quite like Robert Pittman's take on bug control.
It is rare that we do see Veteran Explorer deck like this. Normally you see a black-green Veteran Explorer's deck that some people...
Yeah, maybe some junk decks.
Some people deem Nick fit.
Yeah.
But rarely do you see one like this supporting Consecrated Sphinx and Jace the Mind Sculptor and everything else that he is trying to accomplish in this deck. But it has worked so far. He is 3-0 and playing for 4-0 right now.
Consecrated Sphinx rotates at a standard, and Robert says, yeah, still want to play it. Guess I'll play it in Legacy.
Still awesome.
Yeah, hasn't stuck yet in this match. There's that Maelstrom Pulse for the Delver, gets dazed. Delver survives.
Library going to work.
Yeah, Robert kind of really getting behind just because of that Sylvan Library. Can't find an Abrupt Decay. Can't resolve Maelstrom Pulse, even if he had tried to hit the library there. Does have a Pernicious Deed at the moment, so I think his hand, well, we definitely saw Deed, definitely saw Sphinx. Definitely see Snapcaster Mage.
Now we're going to see Wasteland.
Wasteland from Chris is going to take out the Tropical Island. Nimble Mongoose from Chris. Not thresholded yet, but I think 1 card away. Looks like 6 cards in Chris's graveyard.
6 in the bin. All it's going to take is a fetch line or a cantrip to get it done.
Yeah, easily going to reach threshold at this point.
So now the onus is on Robert. He's going to have to do something good here to get out of this situation. Insect Liberation, beating him down. Nimble Mongoose is going to be adding to the clock in a big way. Robert's really got 2 turns left in this game if he's not able to do anything else.
Yeah, and maybe less if Chris has a Bolt available.
Yep.
Because there's a Scavenging Ooze from Robert Pittman. No Bolt for Chris at the moment, but we do see Brainstorm and I believe Spell Pierce. Okay, Ooze resolves. Sylvan Library now resolving for Chris. Sees Nimble Mongoose, land, and something else I didn't quite catch. Maybe Brainstorm. Pretty sure it's Brainstorm. Chris trying to decide if it might be worth taking some extra cards, or if not, which card exactly he wants to take. Looks like he's going to take a land here. No, he's switching things around. Pretty sure he has a Brainstorm in hand. Draws the land, okay. Misty Rainforest. Yeah, he's got Brainstorm, Volcanic Island, Misty Rainforest, Spell Pierce. Plays the Rainforest. Would love to get in for 6 here, but that Ooze is going to have something to say about it, so.
Remove the Explorer.
Alright, so Ooze grows. This is in response to Chris's attack with both Nimble Mongoose and Insectile Aberration. Scavenging Ooze grows to a 3/3. Robert unable to...
Does gain him a life as well.
Sure.
Which is a big deal. Being a 10 here instead of 9 is huge.
Robert trying to figure out if there's what the best line of play here is. He doesn't have access to any more green mana, so he can't activate the Ooze again, which, as much as he would love to.
Let's see a Brainstorm.
Brainstorm from Chris, and I don't know if this is in response to the declaration of a blocker or what. Either way, I think it was more about achieving threshold.
I think it's about trying to attempt to achieve threshold and possibly hitting a lightning bolt to be able to take care of the Scavenging Ooze so it can't block.
Okay, so not after the blocks.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I saw Robert touch the Ooze almost as if he's declaring blocks. Chris could have said wait before blockers.
Yeah.
Brainstorm. Continue, and yeah.
Okay.
They block. They trade, and Delver gets in. Robert now at I believe 7.
Yeah, this will knock him down to 7.
Yeah, went up to 10 from the Ooze, down to 7 from the Aberration. Chris cracks his Misty Rainforest, finds a Tropical Island.
And we're going to see a second Nimble Mongoose now.
Alright, Robert draws, finds a Snapcaster. Finds a Misty Rainforest. Now, the interesting thing is, right now, aside from that Misty Rainforest, there's no blue source. So, that Robert has available. And Pernicious Deed is getting Spell Pierced. Robert Pittman cracks his Misty Rainforest in response.
Yeah, I would search for a land.
I think it's a matter of can I do this? Oh well, no. Okay. I guess because he didn't have any mana left, he's at 6. He's going to take 6.
Well, actually, the concession there was hasty, and the reason why is because if he blows Deed for 0, it kills the Insectile Aberration because it's flipped.
Oh, good call.
It costs 0. It doesn't cost 1. So if he does